I'll tell you 3 quick stories. And I've titled them, You Never Know, Ripples, and Power of the Universe. I was driving with my 13-year-old daughter, and we stopped at a gas station. And we didn't pull up to the pump, so as I put the car in park, she looked at me and rolled her eyes. She knew why I was walking to the gas station. And I went in to buy a lottery ticket, for which she thinks it's a foolish waste of money. Probably is, but I'm a dreamer, so I went in to get it. And I was talking to the guy at the gas station, and he told me he used to work in Indiana. And this guy would come by and ask him for cigarettes. Kind of a down-and-out guy. And one night the guy came by and he didn't have any cigarettes for him. And outside the gas station there's a little ashtray, so he's looking for cigarette butts. Kind of a disgusting thing, but you know, if you're a smoker, you'll get your butt wherever you can. He couldn't find it, but he found a $1 bill. And he came back into the gas station, and he gave the man a $1 bill. Couldn't buy cigarettes with it, so he bought a lottery ticket, a scratch-off ticket. And he stood there in front of the man, he scratched off a $43,000 ticket. And the guy came back a couple of weeks later, buys cigarettes, he had cash in hand, and a brand new car. So I walked back into the car. My daughter looks at me and she goes, "So you bought a lottery ticket, huh?" I said, "No, the lottery ticket was free. I spent $1 on a great story." You know, we don't know the effect we have on life. And that's why that ripple effect I talk about a lot. The idea that that woman who found you your job after she told you you had no qualifications for a job, she has affected everybody who you've affected by giving you that start. It would have happened anyway, I'm sure of it, but a different way. So she had a ripple she may not even know. I was on my way home in the winter last year, February, March, tired, cranky, but decided I had to have my special yogurt. So I stopped at the local store, and of course they were out of the special yogurt I wanted. So I was even more frustrated, and Ken, who works there, came up to me, and he said, "I want to tell you a story about this guy, Stephen. You know him." I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." He goes, "He used to work here." I said, "I don't really remember him. But Ken knows about my listening work, and it's kind of rude to walk away from somebody who wants to share a story, so as tired and cranky as I was." I said, "Okay, tell me about Stephen." Well, Stephen moved to San Francisco, and he was sitting in a park with his girlfriend on a bench when they watched a man walk to the bridge near the river there, or the waterway they were at, and he was about to jump, and he climbed over the railing. And Stephen got up and he walked up to them. He said, "Excuse me, are you going to go down there?" And I said, "Yeah, I don't really have much to live for. I'm going to jump." And he seemed a little out of it, but he seemed determined. And Stephen said, "Let me help you. Take my hand." And the guy looked at him kind of odd. He goes, "I've got a better way for you. Don't jump. We can get down there. There's a path over there, but come talk to me." So he walked the man back to the bench where he and his girlfriend had been sitting, and they listened to this man talk for about half an hour. He talked about his life, I guess, and talked about why he was going to jump. And when he was done, he said, "Thank you for listening." And he walked the other direction. So this guy who was just sitting in the park having a chat with his girlfriend had quite a huge ripple effect. We don't all have effects that dramatic, but we never know. Because obviously if you throw a stone in Lake Geneva, you're going to see the ripple at first. But the ones that go all the way across the lake, you won't ever see. You have to trust that you're having an impact. And it's, at times, a mystery. What are we doing? Why are we doing it? How are we getting where we're going? I was going to work. I usually love going to work. This particular day I didn't. And I actually spoke out loud. Usually I'll think of it. I said, "Why am I going to work today?" And just as I said that, this van passes me on the highway. It was a mother, apparently because there were car seats in the back of the van, but there's no kids. And she was going about 75 because I was going 60. So she flew by me. Her license plate read simply LUV, the number 4, and the name Ben. And I thought, wow. I'm not sure if you're up there, whoever you are. I don't know if it's God or my mom, but it's not just a coincidence. I just asked this question. I've been driving the same route 20 years. And this particular day, at this particular time, the license plate with a little answer on it with my name came to me. So I know that there's more energy out there than just me. They're not here by happenstance. I can't tell you that God is. I can't tell you there's an afterlife. I just know that we are part of something bigger. And that's comforting. It's scary, but it's comforting. I talk a lot about being present. And it's true in the radio work. It allows me to hear my guests, to ask questions, and to hear my callers and take their interests to heart as I'm hosting a show. But more importantly, when I speak now, and I guess the passions change. I love the radio work, but I like the speaking more. I like to see your faces. After 20 years of talking in a room with nobody there, it seems a little odd. So I don't want to become an old man talking in a room by myself, pretending to be my friend. So I'm out doing a lot more speaking about how we're dying to be heard and how we get heard. And we have a chance to make a difference every day with our spouses and our children and with our friends, the people we work with, and I think most importantly with the strangers that we meet. Because I think the people who are dying to be heard the most are the strangers who will tell you their stories. And you have a choice every day. How present will you be? And how much of a hurry are you in if someone wants to talk to you? How important is it to be right on time? I've had the privilege of studying with some Native Americans in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And the firekeeper, Bruce, has taught me, you're right on time, no matter when you arrive, which is a really comforting thought. And I share this sentiment with every group I speak to, except junior high school students. And the other thing he says is that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So if you're in the bar in the Hyatt thinking, why am I here? It's because you won't be on the house with the path if you weren't there first. And the problem is we don't have the same benefits of foresight that we do in hindsight. So you have to trust that when you get down the path, whatever that path is, you'll look back and say, yeah, that makes sense. Even though right now, as we're chasing our dreams and we're chasing our goals and our wants, with no guarantee that we have any more time than the time we know we're in right now, that it does work out. Maybe not exactly the way you think it's going to. None of us necessarily get that. But it does work out. And when you take the fear that a lot of us carry around and you turn it around into energy for desire, dreams, goals, what have you, it's pretty powerful stuff. And it starts, I think, with all of us being present, not just for ourselves, more importantly for the others that we meet along the way. Anyway, I thank you for listening to me anytime you do, and I'm glad to take questions later. And I'll tell you also, one of the things I've learned to do with my listening is do improv guitar work, and I write songs for people on the spot. So at the dessert, if you come up to me and tell me something about yourself, I'll write you a song. I hope you'll like it. I also will tell you that 10 minutes later I will not remember it. So